One day, your coffee shops will open before sunrise in every major city. Your cups will sit in taxis, offices, airports, college libraries, and tired hands on morning trains. People will not just order your coffee, they will build their day around it. But today, you are 9 years old. You are sitting in the corner of an old coffee shop before school. Your backpack is under the table. Your mother is behind the counter, wearing a faded apron. The espresso machine is coughing. The floor smells like spilled milk and burnt coffee. And the first customer of the morning is already asking for a refund. The coffee shop is not yours. It is not your mother's. It belongs to a tired man who comes in twice a week, counts the cash, complains about the bills, and leaves before the morning rush begins. Your mother works the opening shift. She arrives before the sky turns blue. She unlocks the door. She wipes the tables. She checks the milk. She turns on the old machine. And she wakes up the room before the city wakes up itself. You sit by the window with your homework. You try not to get in the way. But every morning, you watch the same thing happen. People enter the coffee shop looking defeated. A nurse comes in after a night shift. A taxi driver rubs his eyes at the counter. A student opens a textbook with shaking hands. A construction worker holds his cup with both palms. They do not look happy when they arrive. They look cold, tired, late, quietly angry, or just empty. Then your mother gives them coffee. Not perfect coffee, not expensive coffee, just hot coffee. Made quickly, handed over with their name remembered. And something changes. Shoulders drop, eyes open. Voices soften. The day becomes possible again. At first, you think the magic is inside the cup. Then one morning, the machine breaks. Steam spits from the side. The grinder jams. The line reaches the door. The owner is not there. Your mother is alone behind the counter. Customers start complaining. One man says he is late. One woman says the coffee tastes burned. One student leaves without paying. You watch your mother smile anyway. She apologizes. She cleans the portafilter. She heats milk in a dented metal pitcher. She writes orders on paper napkins. She makes each cup slower than usual, but she still says every name. By 8 in the morning, her hands are shaking. The tip jar is almost empty. The counter is covered in spilled coffee, and the angry customer from the first line comes back. You think he is going to complain again? Instead, he puts a coin in the jar. He says, "You remembered I take no sugar." That night, you ask your mother why he came back. She does not say the coffee was good. She does not say the price was fair. She says, people forgive mistakes when they feel seen, but they do not forgive being ignored. You do not fully understand it, but you remember the sentence. For years, the old coffee shop becomes your second classroom. You learn the sound of a good grinder. You learn the smell of milk before it burns. You learn which cups are too hot to hold. You learn that morning customers do not want a speech. They want speed, warmth, and one small sign that someone noticed them. At 11, you start wiping tables. At 12, you refill napkins. At 13, you carry empty crates to the back room. At 14, you learn to wash cups fast enough for the rush. The owner pays you almost nothing, but you listen. You hear which customers complain about bitter coffee, which customers complain about slow service, which customers complain because nobody looked at them. You begin to understand the difference. Bad coffee ruins a drink. Bad service ruins a morning. At 15, you start keeping a notebook. Not a school notebook, a coffee shop notebook. You write down when people arrive. 6:20, hospital workers. 6:40, drivers. 7:10, students. 7:30, office workers. 8:15, people who already lost the day. You write down what they order. You write down how long they wait. You write down which table they choose. You write down who leaves when the room gets too loud. Your mother laughs when she sees the pages. She says you're studying people more than coffee. She is right. At 16, the old coffee shop gets worse. The machine leaks every week. The chairs wobble. The sign outside loses 2 letters. The owner buys cheaper beans. The coffee tastes flat. Regular customers start disappearing. Your mother tries to fix what she can. She warms the cups. She cleans the machine twice. She remembers every face. But she cannot fix bad beans. She cannot fix a broken owner. One rainy morning, a nurse who has come for years takes one sip, sets the cup down, and walks away. Your mother watches through the window. She does not chase her. She just looks tired. You ask if one bad cup really matters. Your mother says, "The first cup of the day has more power than people admit." You write that down too. At 18, you graduate. Your friends talk about leaving town. Some want finance. Some want tech. Some want anything that sounds bigger than coffee. You say you want to work in cafes. They laugh. They say coffee is not a real business. They say anyone can sell coffee. You do not argue. You already know they are wrong. Anyone can sell coffee once. Almost nobody can make people return every morning. At 19, you get your first real barista job. Not at the old shop, at a busy cafe near the train station. The manager is strict. The menu is too long. The morning line is brutal. You burn milk. You forget orders. You spill espresso on your shirt. You make a cappuccino so bad that a customer laughs at it. You want to quit after 3 days. But every mistake teaches you something. Pretty foam does not matter if the order is late. Fast service does not matter if the cup tastes wrong. A smile does not matter if the table is dirty. Everything matters, but not everything matters equally. You learn the morning hierarchy. First, be open on time. Second, make the drink consistent. Third, move the line. Fourth, make the room feel safe to enter. Only after that, make it beautiful. At 22, you rent your first space. It is not charming. It is a narrow storefront between a laundromat and a closed travel agency. The ceiling is low. The bathroom door sticks. The floor tiles are cracked. The front window fogs every morning. You can afford one used espresso machine. 3 small tables. 12 chairs. 1 grinder that sounds angry. And a sign you paint yourself after midnight. Your mother helps you clean the place. She does not say she is proud. She checks the sink. She checks the fridge. She checks the outlet near the machine. Then she says, "Open 5 minutes early." That is how people learn to trust you. On opening morning, you arrive at 4:30. You are terrified. You grind the first beans too fine. The espresso runs slow. The milk pitcher slips from your hand. The first pastry burns in the tiny oven. At 6, you unlock the door. Nobody enters. At 6:15, still nobody. At 6:30, one man walks past, looks at your sign, and keeps walking. At 6:40, a bus driver comes in. He orders black coffee. Your hand shakes when you pour it. He takes one sip. He says nothing. He leaves. You think you failed? Then he comes back the next morning. And the morning after that. Your first regular does not smile for 3 weeks, but he returns. That is enough. For months, the shop survives by inches. You learn the names of 40 people. You know who needs coffee before talking. You know who wants the corner table. You know who counts coins. You know who pretends not to be lonely. You write orders before some customers reach the counter. People begin to say, "You remember everything." But you know the truth. You are building a system. The regulars think it is memory. You know it is respect, repeated every morning, until it feels personal. Then the beautiful cafe opens across the street. The windows are huge. The chairs are expensive. The cups are matte black. The menu has words you have never heard customers say out loud. Influencers take pictures outside before the doors even open. For 1 week, your line gets shorter, then shorter again, then almost gone. Your regulars try the new place. You pretend not to notice, but you notice everything. The competitor has better lighting, better cups, better furniture, better photos. You panic. You buy new menu boards. You add complicated drinks. You change the music. You rearrange the tables. You try to look modern. And for 2 weeks, your shop feels like someone else's idea. The line does not come back. The drinks take longer. The staff gets confused. Your regulars stop hearing their names. One morning, the bus driver waits too long, sets his cup down, and leaves. You feel the same thing your mother felt years ago. A customer walking away with the morning still broken. That night, you close early. You sit alone in the dark shop. Your mother visits after her shift. She looks at the new menu. She looks at the expensive cups. She looks at the empty tables. Then she asks one question. Who did you build this for? You do not answer, because you know. You built it for people who were not coming. The next morning, you erase half the menu. You move the tables back. You bring back the old mugs. You put the fast drinks at the top. You train your staff to greet regulars by name. You open 5 minutes early. You make the room smell like fresh coffee before sunrise. You stop trying to be impressive. You become useful again. Slowly, the line returns. The bus driver comes back. The nurse comes back. The student comes back. Even a few people from the beautiful cafe cross the street. They say your place feels easier. Not cooler, not prettier, easier. At 27, you open a second shop. This one is near a hospital. You think you know what you're doing. You are wrong. The first manager is too friendly and too slow. The morning rush collapses. The coffee tastes different. The chairs scrape too loudly. The staff forgets names. Customers say, "It is not like the first one." That sentence hurts more than a bad review. Because it is true. You realize one shop can run on your obsession. 2 shops need rules. So you start writing them down. How hot the milk should be. How long a customer should wait before being greeted. Where the line should turn. Which drinks belong in the morning rush. When to remake a cup without arguing. How to clean the machine before the taste changes. How to say a name without making it feel fake. Your staff jokes that you're writing a coffee Bible. You call it the morning system. At 30, you have 4 shops. At 32, you have 9. At 34, your coffee shops are in 3 cities. People call you lucky. But luck did not wake up at 4:30. Luck did not clean the grinder. Luck did not count how many seconds people looked at the menu. Luck did not notice that lonely customers choose tables near windows. Luck did not learn that a hospital cafe needs softer light, while a train station cafe needs faster lines. Every shop teaches you a different version of the same truth. People buy coffee with money, but they return with trust. Then growth becomes dangerous. Investors want bigger stores. Real estate agents want richer neighborhoods. Managers want longer menus. Marketing teams want seasonal drinks every month. Everyone wants the brand to look bigger. You almost listen. You open a flagship location downtown. It is beautiful. 2 floors, polished stone counter, plants hanging from the ceiling, a staircase people photograph all day. The opening weekend is packed. The photos look perfect. The numbers look perfect. But the morning line is slow. The coffee bar is too far from the door. People cannot find napkins. The music is too loud. The staff is performing instead of serving. For the first time, your most beautiful shop feels the least useful. You stand upstairs and watch customers leave half-finished cups on tables. That is when you understand. A coffee shop can become a stage, and forget it is supposed to be a shelter. You redesign the flagship in 1 week. The designers hate it. The investors hate it. The internet says you ruined the aesthetic. But the line moves faster. The coffee improves. The morning crowd returns. And the store makes more money after it becomes less pretty. At 38, the bean crisis hits. A bad harvest cuts supply. Prices jump. Your roasting partner calls before dawn. He says the old blend will cost almost double. Your finance team says the answer is simple. Use cheaper beans. Raise prices slowly. Most customers will not notice. You want to believe them? Because payroll is due. Rent is due. Loans are due. And growth has made every mistake expensive. You approve a cheaper test batch. It arrives in plain bags. Your team brews it before sunrise. The color looks fine. The smell is almost fine. The taste is not, it is not terrible. That is the problem. It is almost good enough. You stare at the cup and remember the nurse walking away years ago. You remember your mother's face. You remember the sentence. The first cup of the day has more power than people admit. You cancel the batch. The finance team panics. The investors call it emotional. Your managers ask what they should tell customers. You say, tell them the truth. For 3 months, your margins shrink. You delay expansion. You negotiate directly with farmers. You visit roasting rooms. You learn more about beans than you ever wanted to know. And you build a supply chain that cannot be changed quietly by someone chasing a spreadsheet. Some people leave because prices rise. Most stay because the cup still tastes like itself. At 42, Your chain crosses the country. Airport operators call. Office towers call. Universities call. Hospitals call. Everyone wants your coffee shop, but not everyone wants your rules. Airports want speed. Universities want low prices. Hospitals want calm. Office towers want status. You learn to adapt without losing the center. The airport shop has a faster counter. The hospital shop has softer light. The university shop has cheaper refills. The downtown shop has more seats for meetings. But every shop opens early. Every shop smells right. Every shop keeps the menu readable. Every shop trains staff to notice the customer before the order. That becomes your real brand. Not the logo. Not the cup. The feeling that somebody prepared the room before you arrived. Then the competitor returns. Not the beautiful cafe from across the street. A global giant. They open near your best locations. They copy your colors. They copy your cup shape. They copy your morning slogans. They buy ads around your stores. They offer lower prices for a month. Your board wants to fight with discounts. Your marketing team wants louder campaigns. Your investors want revenge. You visit one of the competitor stores at 6 in the morning. The room is bright. The menu is clean. The coffee is decent. But nobody looks up when customers enter. The staff says numbers instead of names. The line moves, but the room feels empty. You walk back to your own shop. Your barista is greeting a nurse by name. A student is asleep over a textbook. A driver is holding the same corner table he always chooses. You realize the giant can copy the cup. It cannot copy the history inside the room. So you do not start a price war. You double down on training. You improve staff pay. You make managers work morning shifts again. You remove anything that slows the rush. You protect the ritual. The giant wins some customers. You keep the ones who need more than caffeine. At 48, your company opens its first international shop. The city is different. The language is different. The breakfast habits are different. The coffee culture is different. Your first week is embarrassing. People do not order the way your system expects. They sit longer. They ask different questions. They care about different flavors. Your team wants to force the old model. You refuse. You spend mornings inside the store, watching again like the boy in the corner. You learn the local rhythm. You change the seating. You change the pastry case. You keep the service promise. You let the city teach the shop how to breathe. That becomes the global rule. Same promise. Local morning. By 55, your coffee shops open in airports before the first departure. They open near hospitals before shift change. They open beside train stations before the platforms fill. They open in neighborhoods where people need a warm place more than a luxury brand. Your cups move through cities before sunrise. They sit beside laptops, strollers, toolboxes, textbooks, boarding passes, and tired hands that have not yet decided if the day will be kind. People say you built a coffee empire, but you know that is not exactly true. You built thousands of small mornings. One for the nurse, one for the driver, one for the student, one for the worker, one for the parent who slept 3 hours, one for the person who only needed to be noticed before the world asked for too much. One winter morning, you return to the old coffee shop near the station. It is not part of your company. The sign is different now. The old owner is gone. The tiles are still cracked. The window still fogs. The room still smells like spilled milk and burnt coffee. Your mother walks in beside you. Her hair is gray now. Her hands move slower. She looks at the counter where she used to stand. For a moment, you are 9 again. Backpack under the table. Homework unfinished. Machine coughing. Morning rushing toward the door. Then a young barista calls a customer by name. The customer looks exhausted. The cup is handed over quickly. The customer takes one sip. His shoulders drop. His day becomes possible again. Your mother smiles. She says, "That is the business." And finally, you understand it completely. You thought you were building coffee shops. Then you thought you were building a brand. Then you thought you were building a global chain. But what you were really building, cup by cup, morning by morning, was a place people could return to before the day demanded too much from them.